Hare Krishna. Summary of Canto 4, Chapter 23. Maharaj Prithu's going back home. Realizing his old age, Prithu, who was the maintainer of all living entities, executed the orders of the Lord, handed over the earth to his sons, and then he went to the forest with his wife while the citizens lamented in separation. There he underwent severe austerities according to the Vanaprastha rules as seriously as he engaged formally in leading the government and conquering different lands. In Tapovana, he sometimes ate roots, sometimes fruits, dried leaves, and for some weeks he just drank water. Finally, he lived simply by breathing air. He placed fires around himself during the summer, exposed himself to torrents of rain during monsoon, stood in water up to his neck in winter, and he used to sleep only on earth. He underwent all these austerities of controlling his birth senses, sexual impulse, and life airs just to satisfy Lord Sri Krishna. By such austerities, he gradually became steadfast, destroyed his karma, and became joyful. He controlled his mind and senses by pranayama, and he cut the bondage to the world. He constantly worshipped the Lord by following the path of Adhyatma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga as taught by Sanat Kumar. Thus, his devotion to Lord Sri Krishna became unflinching and fixed. By such practice of bhakti, his mind became extremely pure. It reached the Shuddha Sattva platform and he could constantly think of the Lord. In his purified mind appeared jnana and vairagya, by which he destroyed the subtle body and transcended all doubts. When he became free from all other concepts of life, Prithu realized the form of Paramatma. Being without any desire for siddhis, he destroyed his subtle body by jnana and then gave up that jnana also. Unless yogis and jnanis become attracted to Krishna Katha, their illusions can never be dispelled. In due course of time, Prithu fixed his mind very firmly upon Lord Sri Krishna, and being completely situated in the Brahmabhuta platform, he gave up his gross body. Prithu, being a pure devotee and a Shakti Avesh avatar, did not have material and subtle gross bodies. Also, Prithu, out of his great humility, did not consider himself a great devotee, and therefore he meditated on destroying his subtle body. This is mentioned in order to preserve the mentality of materialists. Among the Lord's forms, Rama does not give up his body, and amongst the devotees, Dhruva does not give up his body. Prithu raised his life air from the anus, the Mooladhara chakra, to the Swadhisthana chakra, Manipura chakra, Anahata chakra, Vishuddhi chakra, and Agnya chakra. From there, he raised the air to the Brahmarandra and without desire merged his life air with the totality of air. He merged the remaining gross elements of his body into the totality of those gross elements. Then he merged earth, water, fire, air, and sky. Then he merged the mind, senses, sense objects, ahankara, mahatattva, and he placed the mahatattva into Prakriti and gave up Prakriti situated beside him by the power of jnana and vairagya and by the force of bhakti. In this way, being already situated in a Swarupa and Krishna consciousness, Prithu Maharaj gave up his body. Archi voluntarily followed Prithu into the forest and touched her lotus feet to the ground despite being a delicate queen who was unsuited to austerities. Though she became thin by performing austerities like sages, she did not feel any pain because she derived pleasure in serving her husband. Seeing her merciful husband's body without life symptoms, she lamented for a little while and then she placed her body on a funeral pyre. She executed all the necessary rituals and offered respects to the demigods. She then circumambulated the fire 3 times and entered its flames while meditating on the lotus feet of her husband. Seeing this amazing act, thousands of wives of the demigods, along with their husbands, began glorifying Archi. The demigods played instruments and their wives showered flowers on the funeral pyre. They said, "All glories to Queen Archi. She has served her husband with her mind, with her speech, body, exactly like Lakshmi serves Vishnu. That must be her traveling in the sky. She is still following her husband upward. Archie has surpassed us in inconceivable actions. They spoke among themselves. They said, "We also desire to achieve such good fortune by taking human births. Earthly humans have only a short lifespan, but by engaging in devotional service, Naishkarmyam, they go back to Godhead. What is unattainable by them?" Certainly he is envious of himself and is cheated, who, even after attaining with great difficulty the rare human form of life capable of giving liberation, wastes it in sense gratification. While the wives of the demigods were thus talking, Archie reached the same planet as that of her husband. Prithu's story is very wonderful. He is powerful and he has great character. Therefore, Maitreya described it as far as possible. There is a Phalashruti for this section. Anyone who faithfully and attentively hears this pastime of Prithu Maharaj attains the abode of Prithu, which is Vaikuntha. A Brahmana becomes most learned, a Kshatriya becomes the leader of this world, a Vaishya becomes the master of other Vaishyas and cows, a Shudra becomes the best devotee. A childless person becomes blessed with good children. A poor man becomes the richest. A person with no reputation becomes famous. A fool becomes learned. One gains all auspiciousness and no inauspiciousness. One achieves all fame, wealth, long life, swarga, immunity from Kali's influence, the results of all four Purusharthas. A king attains victory, ruling power, and tribute from subordinate kings. A pure devotee, while discharging devotional service, must hear, read, and induce others to hear about the character and life of Prithu Maharaj. Hearing and chanting about Prithu Maharaj enriches one's devotional attitude, faith, and attraction to the Lord's lotus feet, which are the boat for crossing the ocean of nescience. Thus, they can go back home, back to Godhead, just like Prithu Maharaj. This ends the summary of Canto 4, Chapter 23, Maharaja Prithu's Going Back Home. Hare Krishna.